Hello and welcome to another lesson brought to you by LearnDrumsLive.com. In today's lesson, we're going to look at ways in which we can play the jazz pattern in 3/4 time. And so what we're going to do is we're going to look at a traditional jazz ride pattern in 3/4, and then different hi-hat patterns against that. And then in the next lesson, we'll continue and add our left hand and our right foot against these two things that are going on. So the reason I wanted to do this lesson was because a couple weeks ago, there was a song that was called in a gig that I was at, and it was a 3/4 jazz tune. And I realized I wasn't able to play the traditional jazz ride and keep a steady, consistent hi-hat pattern going with my left foot when I was comping with my left hand and right foot. So I thought, okay, I need to work on this, and I figured it'd be a good lesson as well. So I would assume that most of you know when I say 3/4, that means there's the value of 3/4 notes in the measure, okay? So instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, the pattern would be, and this isn't the only pattern, but this is a pretty standard kind of go-to pattern. It would be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, okay? And you can see that written on the screen. So again, that pattern is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay? So that's the ride pattern we're going to work on. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to work on playing different hi-hat parts or patterns against that ride. So let's take a look at that now. Okay, so the first pattern we're going to look at with the hi-hat is the hi-hat falling on beats 2 and 3. And this is one I use or try to use quite a bit. Well, it's kind of the most natural one for me, so I kind of fall back on that one. So that one sounds like this with the ride. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you can obviously see that the hi-hat's falling on beat 2 and 3, okay? So practice that for a little bit, and then we'll take a look at the next pattern on our left foot. Okay, so the next pattern we're going to look at still has 2 beats within the measure, but this time the hi-hat is on beat 1 and the and of 2. So that would be like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay? So that's on the 1 and the and of the 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. That has a nice forward motion, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay? So that's the second hi-hat pattern we're going to work with. Okay? Now let's take a look at the third and final hi-hat pattern that we'll work with. Okay, so we just looked at the first two, where the first pattern was on beats 2 and 3. The second pattern, the hi-hat, was on the 1 and the and of the 2. This third one's going to be on the and of the 1 and the 3. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay? 1 and 2 and 3, 1. Okay. Remember, the right hand doesn't change, okay? So the first thing I want you to work on with this, and remember, it's like a piece of a puzzle. Don't try to add all the pieces at one time, right? You add a couple pieces, together, and then you add another piece, another piece. Well, we're just going to work on these 2 pieces for this lesson, all right? So let me just play or a few of each, okay? So it'll be like this, and without stopping the ride. 1, 2, 3, hopefully. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, back, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay? So I was just kind of switching back and forth. I forgot which one I was going to go to the last round, but Okay, so, you know, a lot of times you'll hear these patterns, and you know, you play them up to speed, right? One, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. And they work well. Okay? All right, so have some fun with that. Get the jazz ride pattern first in 3/4 time, then start adding the left foot, and then soon enough we'll be doing another lesson where we add the left hand and the right foot against this ostinato, if you will. All right, until next time, thanks for stopping by.